Hey everybody, and welcome to the next edition of our Puck Rivals Top 5 Prospects series. This episode will cover the Detroit Red Wings, and thanks to all of you who commented requesting for this one. The Red Wings are a team who have been rebuilding for the past few years now, and have been stocking the cupboards with prospects, though none in the top 3 due to getting very unlucky with the draft lottery. For a player to be considered for these rankings, they must be under 24 years old and have played less than 25 games in a single NHL season. Make sure to leave a comment on what your top 5 list for the Red Wings would look like, and let's get into the graduates from this Detroit group. This year there were quite a few graduates for Detroit. Prospects Filip Zadina and Taro Hirose both played more than 25 games last season, making them ineligible. Meanwhile, Evgeny Svechnikov, Andrei's brother, and D-man Joe Hicketts both turned 24, and are now too old to be considered for these rankings. Now let's move on to the top 5. Starting with the number 5 pick, we have defenseman Jared McIsaac. And we just have to point it off the start that McIsaac has had really bad luck with injuries. After missing a good chunk of last season recovering from shoulder surgery, in his first shift this fall in Liga, he injured the opposite shoulder, causing him to now have to get surgery on that one, and likely ending his season shortly after it started. The injury is extremely unfortunate for the Wings' second round pick, because when he is healthy, he is a very effective defender. He put up 19 points in 28 games in the Q last season, and 4 points in 7 games for Canada in the World Junior Championship, where he won a gold medal with the team. McIsaac plays a smart two-way defensive game, and doesn't shy away from throwing his weight around out there. He's a very good skater, which allows him to be effective in both ends of the ice, and have good gap control. McIsaac is an efficient puck mover, and if he can recover from this next shoulder surgery and continue developing, he could turn into a second pairing D-man for the Red Wings down the line. But if the opposite happens during his recovery, we could see him off this prospect list altogether in a year's time. Let's hope for the first scenario on that one. Next up at number 4 on Detroit's top 5 prospect list, we have center Joe Veleno. The Wings picked Veleno 30th overall in 2018 as he fell during that first round. He played his first pro season with Grand Rapids last year and did well, putting up 23 points in 54 games. And just like McIsaac, he won gold with Canada at the World Juniors. Veleno is currently on loan to Malmo in the SHL, where he has 11 points in 21 games. He plays a very well-rounded game, and is an underrated skater, which helps him create offense. Veleno has a high compete level, and isn't afraid to get involved in puck battles along the boards. He has very solid size, and has the tools and skill to be used in all situations, and contribute in many ways other than just on the score sheet. He'll likely never put up insane numbers at the pro level, but he'll be an effective and useful player down the middle for Detroit, potentially ending up as a second or third line center. Now at number 3, we have Swedish winger Jonatan Berggren. The speedy winger is tearing it up in the SHL this year, where he has 24 points in 23 games. The 2018 second round pick has already doubled his point total from last year in one less game, and is showing he's developing well and will be ready to compete for a spot in the Red Wings lineup as early as next year. Berggren is more of a playmaker than he is a scorer, using his great vision and hockey IQ to find open teammates in the offensive zone and on the rush. Despite not being a huge winger, he still plays a heavy game, and will get to the front of the net in order to score and pressure hard on the forecheck. Berggren has very good positioning, using his hockey sense to be in the right spots out on the ice. Seeing how much he has progressed this season so far, we could see Berggren becoming a top 6 winger for Detroit in the future. Moving on to number 2 on this list, we have big German defenseman Moritz Seider. A surprise pick at 6th overall in 2019, the big D-man is developing into a very good defensive prospect for the Wings. He had a strong season in the AHL last year as an 18-year-old, playing heavy minutes for Grand Rapids, and putting up 6 assists while captaining Germany at the World Juniors. This fall, he has put up 13 points in 18 games in the SHL, and with Detroit not making Seider available for the World Juniors this year, you can expect him to compete for a spot on that blue line this season. Seider already has NHL size and could add even more muscle to his 6'4", 207-pound frame, but he's still just 19, so that'll come. What he impresses with the most is his defensive game. He plays physical and is able to throw big hits, but also uses his mobility to break up rushes and block passing lanes. Seider has a great transition game. We project him as a solid number 2 defenseman for the Wings, and a good piece on the back end for this rebuild. Now we made it to number 1 on the Detroit Red Wings prospect list, and it's elite Swedish winger Lucas Raymond taking the top spot. Raymond is far and away their most highly skilled prospect, and a pretty good consolation to Detroit falling to the 4th overall pick. Getting Raymond at number 4 in this past draft gave Detroit a winger with high-end playmaking ability. He's done well in the SHL as an 18-year-old, putting up 12 points in 22 games. Raymond is a fantastic skater, making him dangerous on the rush because of his speed and edge work. When he has the puck in the offensive zone, he is always a threat, and he usually is the one with the puck in offensive situations, and that's exactly how he likes it. Raymond is able to see the ice well, making plays that others can't, and could be a power play quarterback for the Wings in the future on the half wall. Detroit fans should be very excited for Raymond. He is a highlight reel generator and just oozes talent and skill. He is a key piece to the rebuild, and over the long term will be a top line playmaker for the team. And now it's time to take a look at the guys who are just short of making this list. 3 honorable mentions for Detroit are 2020 second round pick Swedish D-man William Wallinder, 2019 6th round pick another Swede Elmer Soderblom, and 2019 second round pick Robert Mastrosimone. Looking at this top 5, the Red Wings have a solid prospect group up front and on the blue line. They have a pillar on defense in Seider, who could be a mainstay on the back end this season if he makes the team. And right behind him are 2 highly skilled Swedes in Raymond and Berggren, who could be joining him with the big club as early as next year. Despite being essentially screwed by the draft lottery over the past few years, Detroit has done a good job adding high-end prospects anyway. And with the amount of picks they've had over that span, they've also drafted guys who will be good depth pieces in the coming years after some more time for development. So Detroit isn't quite out of the darkness yet with this rebuild, but they're definitely heading in the right direction after the past couple drafts. Make sure to let us know in the comments what you think of these rankings and what other teams you would like to see next. We've already covered a lot of teams in this prospect series, so make sure to check out the playlist link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you like hockey content, because that's what we do on this channel. This is Matt from Puck Rivals, and I will see you next time.